he spent a week down at my place, and just it's amazing the way that it looks like that right there, and the way he leaves it when they leave out of it. They know how to run their equipment, and they're very efficient in what they do as far as what they leave and what they take out with when they go through your property. To me, a tremendous positive to this thing, particularly if you got a new place that you're just developing, is that you can take this machine and put in a hell of a road system, to where where you take a dozer and you got to move dirt and trees, and then you got to dispose of the trees. I mean, you can take this thing and put in a road system that ain't gonna wash, that you can use as a fire break. When they get through with this thing right here, you can set a fire, and you got a road and a fire break at the same time. And in addition to developing plots and clearing land and thinning it out, and like I said, they've done some work there on my place, and it's just absolutely gorgeous what they've done. Because they left trees and scattered out, spaced out in the areas that they went in. It looks like a park when you come in my driveway now, as opposed to looking like just like that right there, right up next to my driveway coming in. Now that it's 200 or 300 yards off my driveway, it just looks like a park out there where they went through there and thin this stuff. And when they get through, you got a finished product. It's like I say, you come in there and spread your seed and fertilize it and go. And it's like any other clearing. You got to after they leave there, and during the growing season, you got to maintain it with herbicides, bush hog, fire, however you want to do it then. But they're going to put it in a position to where you can do anything you want to do with it, and it's absolutely gorgeous the way they leave your land. We've had these winds and bad weather. Before I saw this machine and I saw what it was doing, I cleared some of it with a track hoe and a bulldozer and piled it. Well, I'm gonna be dealing with them piles for another year, or a year and a half, or whatever it takes to burn them, keep burning them, and pile them and repile them, and doing that. Where he left, you got none of that. But one thing that I mentioned to you is that when we cleared it with a bulldozer and a track hoe, when that wind came through there, they had those trees probably would have been fine if we hadn't had the wind and the weather. But it blew down a bunch of those trees where that track hoe reached in there and cleaned it around them and tore up the root system. Out there where they did this green friendly, even though they went in the ground 2 inches or 3 inches or whatever, they left it just like this. I didn't have any trees, not the first tree left in that park-like area that was uprooted and blown down by the wind. Not one. I had several pine trees that broke off, but none up by the roots.
How big of a material will that thing take care of?
From 6 inches and down, it's real effective. If you ask me how big will my toy cut a tree, is that what you're asking? I mean, not big. I mean, we cut a 14-inch tree down. Do I want to come out and harvest your trees and mulch them, your big trees? No, I don't want to do that. That's not what Green Friend is about. We have the capabilities of putting more horsepower in a tractor similar to this and mulch as big a tree as you want. We had finished a hub and spoke down in the other part of South Alabama that had hardwoods up to 36 to 48 inch trees where it's been harvested, stumps up 18 inches high to the ground. And we went in and cut the stumps back, had to tackle some of the stumps in 3 different directions and bring them back to ground level. And then sow the food plot right on top of it.
Here's my philosophy about that. And it may be wrong, but I mean, this is just the way I feel about it. I don't know how many acres he's got on this place like this right here. But whatever it is worth zero to him. Whatever you spend to clean it up to where you can use it, that's the value that you've added to that land. Because you got nothing there right now. That's the way that he cleaned up my place. It looked just like that. With sweet gums and maples and little old trees that big around. It was good for nothing. You couldn't walk through it, much less hunt in it, or look at it, or enjoy it. So whatever it cost me for him to come in there and clean it up, you know, that was what I had in the lake. So, and that was my justification in the money that I spent cleaning it up.
Are you gonna go into the far? Is Jack Warner gonna go in with Gulf Station, take and do this to his property all over? No, he's not. It's not cost effective. You know, in the forestry industry, and I'm sure there's some foresters here today. You know, you're gonna use, of course, you prescribe burning. You're gonna use drum choppers. You're gonna prepare regeneration of forestry. Today, I think we're talking about, and it's at my farm, our coach's farm. If I can't see it, I can't use it. It's not any use to me. If we can go in and aesthetically, environmentally, emission-free prep that land, I think we've done something today to our wildlife and our environment. It is not our intent to disturb the forest floor, and I'm not a biologist, but I've been in a few discussions of that real important layer. For the most part, when we do our clearing, we're going to use the ground as more of a batter board, maybe to mulch the soil, mulch wood fiber. It would be in our intent if you asked us to go in and do a fire trail or a hub and spoke spot that you're going to grow grass, or we've got to get enough dirt soil up in for a good fire break to qualify as a fire break. We could cut up to 3 inches into the soil as far as we go.
Now, I did get Anthony to take an area and just cut it down and run over it and not mulch it. And in other words, the stems are left, you know, the stems right there is the splintered stem left that high. But he went in there and left it the same way he did the park area, but he just didn't spend the time backing up and mulching it and leaving it like this right here. In other words, it's from a standpoint of being able to go in there and bird hunt, and now I will have a more extensive job controlling that with fire and herbicide to keep it clean over what he's done here. But he also could go about 3 times as fast and cover 3 times as much area doing that as he could with the, you know, with the mulching.